Hi everyone, today I wanted to share with you a makeup look using some super duper inexpensive makeup. This is makeup that many of you recommended I try out. This is from the brand Believe Beauty, and you can pick this up at your local Dollar General. I'm not sure if you can get it online. If you can, I'm gonna link it down below, but pretty much most everything is like $5. It's super duper affordable, but I will caution you, I just go ahead and tell you this right now, if you go there and you pick up a product and you see that the little safety sticker or whatever looks like this, I probably wouldn't get that product because that probably means that somebody else has already peeled the sticker up, opened it, and I don't know if they've tried it on or whatever. Even though it was super duper affordable for me to buy all of these products, I bought almost every shade and everything that they have, but it was annoying. I'll just say it was very annoying because I probably had to go to like 4 or 5 different Dollar Generals to find products that didn't have these stickers peeled off. So, you know, sometimes it's nice to have things that are super duper affordable, budget friendly, cheap, whatever you want to call it, and you know, that's good quality. But when they're sold like this, you know, it's like nobody wants somebody else's cooties or pink eye, you know, if somebody else is messing with the product. I'm sure Believe Beauty is not watching my channel, but if by some odd chance they are, perhaps you guys could think about changing your packaging, or maybe not just putting a sticker that, you know, obviously can easily be peeled off. Perhaps there's a better way that you can do the packaging and still keep it super affordable, that, you know, people kind of feel safe in purchasing your products. I'm already wearing my sunscreen for the day, so let's start with foundation. Look at this packaging for such an affordable price. I feel like, you know, minus the lid, I feel like this bottle looks very luxurious and elegant. Look how beautiful this is. It's a nice glass bottle and it has a pump on it. So I really, really like that about the product. But same thing with this. This had, you know, that sticker on it. I had to go through so many of them because see how the sticker, you can just push it right back down, but that doesn't mean it's sealed. So many of them looked like this in the store where I could tell they had been lifted up and, you know, probably used. I have 2 shades of their foundation. This is their Skin Finish Foundation. It says it has a medium to full coverage. I have the shade Soft Beige and Neutral Tan. I'm a little hot and sweaty right now, but I'm not sure which shade I'm gonna use, so let's just put a smidgy of each on the side of my face and see what looks best. So this is the Soft Beige. It's probably a little too light, but I could make that color work. And then this is their Neutral Tan. This definitely has good coverage because I only put a smidgy on my finger and look how well that spreads. I'm probably gonna use the Neutral Tan since it has more yellow in it. And this is one of their blending sponges. Now I have been using this for a while and I actually really like it. I've probably used this 20 some times and it still is in really nice condition. Let's just get rid of it. Look at this. I only had a touch left over on my fingers, and this has good coverage. Look how this is covering up my melasma quite well. Maybe I'll just do a little pump of each and mix them. That seems like it's making the perfect shade that way. I'm just using a teeny amount of both of them. It's got a little musty scent to it, but I don't mind it. It's not super strong. So let's just see how this looks. Not bad. This is really a pretty foundation and it is giving me a really decent coverage. Let's see what it does on the forehead. I like this sponge a lot. It feels a little tacky, but it just, you know, probably needs to dry down, so we'll see how it goes. This is their concealer that I picked up. I only got 1 shade, and this is in the shade Biscuit, because most of them, again, this thing was lifted up and it was really annoying. Is your Dollar General like that? Let me know if you guys have had the same problem grabbing makeup products from there. You know, is everything like appear to have been used? And really, I don't need a whole lot of concealer because this foundation gives me a good enough coverage, but I shouldn't put this much on because for all I know, it's super thick. It's actually not. This feels really nice. Oh, this is a beautiful concealer. We'll just see how it sits. It's more of like a medium, not a super full, but almost a full coverage. And of course, I'm just looking in my viewfinder, so I can't really say how good it is. I'll zoom in so you can see what this concealer does. First impressions, I really like this concealer and the foundation so far, but of course it depends on how it looks throughout the day. I also got their eyeshadow primer. It's called their Lock It In eyeshadow primer. That's probably way too much. It's actually, this is kind of nice. It feels a lot like the texture feels like the one from Milani, that eyeshadow primer, but this one has more coverage than the Milani one, and of course this one's a lot more affordable. So we'll see how it dries down and how my eyeshadow looks over top of it. This is the eyeshadow palette I got. I've already tested some of it on my hand. They seem pretty creamy and silky. Let's just put them on my hand with one swipe, see how they do. I don't know, I feel like those are patchy. Look at how those look. Let me do it on smooth surface and see. Okay, maybe not as patchy. Looks like it went on a little bit smoother with the second swipe. Let's just try it on our eyes and see how it looks. I don't really have a neutral matte shade. I want something like this shade to put in my crease, but this is a shimmery shade, and I don't really want to put that in my crease. So this is a matte shade. I'm going to try to use just a smidge of this and put that in my crease and see how that goes. When I tap the brush on it, there is a lot of product that gets on the brush, so I need to be really careful with that. Let me just wipe off a little bit on my hand. These are really pigmented. I mean, I was trying to do the lightest hand with that shade. I mean, that's really intense, but hopefully they blend out nicely. Let's put a little bit on this eye real quick. Wow, I mean, there's a lot of pigment. I am using such gentle pressure just so I don't put too much on. I'm not loving this shade. I don't really gravitate towards like pinks and oranges because I feel like it makes me look like, you know, I have bronchitis or, you know, some kind of illness. But this is a beautiful formula. It's very silky. It's very smooth. I mean, the brush actually is not bad either. You know, for the price, it's a really nice soft brush, and it really blends it out nicely. I mean, look at how that blends it. Okay, I want to zoom in real quick just so you can see what this concealer is doing. If you can see, it's starting to settle into my little fine lines and wrinkles under my eyes. I didn't get a powder. You know, maybe I could, I think they had a powder, but I'm not a huge powder fan. Usually what I do is when my concealer creases like this, I just wait for it to dry down, and then I'll just take a blending sponge. These are the Believe Beauty little mini sponges, and I'm just going to use it dry just to pick up that extra concealer. All right, so I'm just going to use some of this shade, and I will put that under my eye. Let's just see what this looks like. Ooh, that's like shimmery gold. Let me try that on the lid. Oh my gosh, this is such a good formula of eyeshadow. I cannot believe how these almost go on like a cream, but it's a powder. So these are beautiful. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of this shade over top of this silky, this satiny one, because I do prefer a little bit more of a matte eyeshadow look. Nothing wrong with the shimmer, but I do prefer a little bit more mattified look. This is the palette I got to do my blush, my bronzer, and my highlighter. Let's just see how it looks with the contour shade. I mean, a lot really picks up on this brush. I better wipe a little bit of it off just so I don't have too much on. And let's just kind of bronze up. We'll just kind of use this as a bronzer. It kind of rubs the foundation off and you can see my melasma. The brush is kind of cool because it's that nice angle, but this definitely needs to be blended. Wow, just one swipe. It's actually a really pretty contour, bronzer, whatever you want to call it. All right, let's see what this blush looks like. Of course I put too much on. I don't want it under my eye. This is what happens when you use the little teeny viewfinder on your camera as your mirror. Let's see if it looks kind of patchy. Does it look patchy? I feel like maybe it does look patchy. You know what it is? I don't think it's necessarily the blush. I think it's this brush, because these bristles, I mean, it's super soft and silky, but they're kind of so compact. I think I like this for bronzing, to, you know, contouring, to put that on in a nice straight line. But I feel like it, I can't softly blend the product out. I'm not going to use this for my highlighter. I got this, it's called All Over Glow. This says it's a skin illuminator. I like the pump that it comes in. I have tried this on my hand. Ooh. This dries down, it doesn't feel oily. It dries very, very quickly. So this might make a nice highlighter. Let's see. What a difference. I feel like a nice highlighter like this, it's not, you know, too sparkly. It just gives you that nice glow. I feel like a highlighter makes such a difference in a makeup look sometimes. Let's do a little checkup on the concealer again. Yeah, it's starting to crease again under my eyes, so maybe I'll have to try their powder to see. I typically don't like to use powder, and I don't like to use concealers that need a powder, but let's not put highlighter. But this, it doesn't want to, it doesn't want to set. It doesn't want to dry down and set. It wants to just keep getting into my little fine lines. I mean, it's not a bad concealer. It feels really nice at first, but I'm not loving how you know, how it's doing right now. I didn't even get their brow products because for me, I have more normal to oily skin, but it seems like my brows get like oily throughout the day, and a lot of brow products just don't stay on. So I figured I would just substitute the brow product, and I'm going to use the NYX Lift and Snatch to fill in my brows, and then I will just brush the brow hairs with this amazing e.l.f. Wow Brow. This is my absolute favorite. Okay, I just did my brows. They look a little bushy, but they'll do for now. Let's do some mascara. I have two different mascaras from them. So let's try this Voluminize Waterproof Mascara on this eye and see how it works. I'm not loving this mascara. First of all, I'm making a mess all over my eyelid, which I can take that off once it dries. But I feel like the more coats I try to put on, I don't know, it's kind of getting clumpy. It's just not that easy to work with. And then we're gonna use this one on this eye. This one I feel like is a little easier to work with, but I don't know, it kind of feels like it's sort of dried out. I like how thin this brush is because I can really get down super duper close to where like the inner waterline is and get all of those lashes. I definitely like this mascara better. See how it looks a lot fuller here and thicker. Let's see how easy this comes off. Usually with a dry clean Q-tip, I can just wipe off the dried up mascara. No. Let's see about this. Oh, this one comes off really easily. I got quite a few of their lip products. This is one of their matte liquid lips. I don't really love how bendy this applicator is, so that makes it a little difficult. This shade's a little too brown for me, but you know, some people really like this type of shade on them. I think I'm gonna use this lip gloss over top. Oh my. If you like those frosty color glosses, you might really like that. Little, you know, too 1990s for me. Let me just zoom in and then you can see. So I feel like I just look really pale, kind of sickly with this eyeshadow. But look at this eyeshadow, how it was so pigmented at first, but I guess the more I blended it, just, you know, kind of blended it right off. But I definitely need to try other shades of their eyeshadow. I put a little bit darker lip liner on here, but I just feel like the blush just wears right off. The bronzer pretty much wears right off. I don't love this look even in better lighting. The concealer, let's see if you can tell, I've had to blot the concealer off quite a few times, and then now it just pretty much looks like I have no concealer on. I will share my final thoughts on how all of this makeup performed over the next few hours. Okay, checking in about, I'd say 6 hours after I applied this makeup. Yeah, I don't like any of it. It's pretty much all faded off. You can see this pimple I had. The lips are gone only because I ate. I think I look worse with this worn off than I do just without makeup in general. No, not liking this makeup at all.